blue revolution, during 70s only, the intensity of this kind of migration increased very much. And the major challenges, the challenges we are facing during migration system, the management of marine fisheries, it's in recent years have become extremely difficult. And because these migrant fishermen easily get away from the formal and informal rule system which is existing along the coastal areas. And the government or the community cannot control the migrant people in this region. As a result, we can see that the migrant people are using more or exploitation of the fishery resources. Then the livelihood of local people is getting abolished due to this migratory fishermen. And I set my objectives mainly three: to identify the various fishing groups who adopt migration as their livelihood strategy, and the second is to what is the causes of migration, and finally to explore the administrative informal institutions which facilitate professional access to the migrant fishermen to the area. And this is my study area from Kerala. It's Ernakulam region district. I selected a particular area of Munambam fishing village where it is now it's an international fishing harbour is located. Okay, and I classified the fishing sector mainly to different eras. That's pre-mechanization era, mechanization era, then post-mechanization, and this session, and this era. What's happening all these times? And pre-mechanization era, it's before 1950s. What's happened in that coastal region? There were mainly the traditional fishermen were occupied in this region, and around 300 country crafts were operated along the shore. And there was a beach management system was formalized by these local communities. And mainly there are two castes were there, fishing castes were there, and that is Hindu and Christian. From the Hindu caste, the Araya, Mukwa, Wada, these three communities are dominant and in fishing activities. And in Christian, it's a Latin community who is dominant in the fishing activities. And at that time, there was no fishing harbor were there. Only landing centers, fish landing centers were there. And during the first phase of mechanization, 1950s and 70s, during these times, the government initiated for the fishing purposes, and the government formalized cooperative societies in order to catch the fish from the fish. The government invented some fund for the fishermen, and around 100 fishing boats, mechanized fishing boats, were operated at that time. It's around 35 to 40 feet. And at the time of that, it was very successful. The local population get involved in the local fishermen population get involved in the fishing activities, and women and children also get so much money than the traditional way of living. And the Cochin region, which is developed as an export hub for the fishing purposes. And because of this lucrative fisheries, more number of fishing operations or fishing fleets were built there. Okay. And many of the local fishermen who is from the outside the fishing community get involved in the fishing activities, and they also build the fishing boat there. Okay. And second phase of mechanization during 70s and 90s, the number of boats, fishing boats, were increased greatly up to 300. Major fishing harbor built and commissioned in 1975 in Munambam area, and there was a conflict between the Christian and Hindu, and Christian community built another harbor which is away from the main harbor. And the thing is that the